couple days ago, I made a video discussing some news as well as my thoughts and speculations about the future of FromSoftware. And lo and behold, 2 days later, we get an announcement about a new FromSoftware game, which had nothing to do with what I was discussing. So that's always great. So, Elden Ring Nightreign. What is it and what does it mean for the future of FromSoftware? First of all, some context. FromSoftware revealed their new project, Elden Ring Nightrain, at the Game Awards of 2024. Nightrain is not Elden Ring 2, not even close. It's not even a DLC. Nightrain is a spin-off title. It will be a 3-person co-op game with roguelike elements set in Limgrave, though on a different interpretation of the actual Limgrave in the actual game. The game will be fully co-op and there will be no PvP as far as we know. From my understanding, the players will have to sort of choose a major boss at the beginning to fight, and they will fight that major boss at the end. Before that, they'll have to survive for 2 days, while fending off other enemies as well as smaller bosses. Combat will be similar to the traditional Souls combat, though apparently more fast-paced, and the same applies to movement. From what I gather, the game will be designed to be more fast-paced than a traditional Souls game. Loot will be abundant, with lots of variety as well as a rarity and tier system, similar to other roguelikes. The game will be buy to play, not free to play, and will release in 2025. Now, for more info, I'm going to link the video by PC Gamer, who have actually played the game in the Game Awards, so go ahead and check that out if you want. I'm not here to do a full analysis of what we know so far. We can do that later. What I want to talk about a bit is the commotion that the reveal of Nightreign has caused. The community is kinda divided right now. I keep seeing YouTube and Facebook comments being like, oh, this is a result of Sony, and FromSoftware is easing us in their new types of games that they will be forced to make because of Sony. A lot of people are being very pessimistic about this reveal. And of course that makes sense to a degree. After getting reveals like Armored Core 6, Elden Ring DLC the past few years, seeing a reveal of an Elden Ring spin-off, it's kinda like going to Disney World the previous year, while this year you visit your local tiny amusement park with that one ride that barely works. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what the reveal of Nightreign means for FromSoftware. Nobody knows yet. What I am going to do is lay down some facts, give you my 2 cents, and invite you guys to have a discussion about this whole thing. Fact the first, FromSoftware has expanded its studios lately. After the release of Elden Ring, FromSoftware grew larger. Why is this relevant? Because it allows FromSoftware to work on multiple projects at once, including smaller novelty projects like Nightrain, without compromising the production of their major titles. To put it simply, you can expect a more diverse portfolio from a company that has expanded. Fact the second, Shadow of the Erdtree only released half a year ago, a DLC that was basically the size of a whole game, serving as the latest major FromSoftware project. So it's no surprise that they wouldn't reveal anything major at this point yet. Like I mentioned in my previous video, video game creation life cycles have become much larger nowadays. So naturally, it's going to be some time before we hear anything about a major release. Probably. Fact the third, FromSoftware have never been afraid to try out new things and novelty options. Their whole origin story is based on the fact that they innovated. An action dodge-based mecha game? Who the f tries that? Well, FromSoft does. Hell, even Sekiro was different from all their previous titles at that point. And now that they have more manpower and don't rely so much on each individual release, they can afford to dip their toes in more pools to test out the waters. What I'm getting at is that it's not at all outlandish for FromSoftware to want to experiment with new, smaller things at this point in time, while simultaneously working on their next major release. People are way too quick to point their fingers at Sony and say that this is all their fault, but it could very well just be a coincidence. But hell, even if Sony did push FromSoftware to creating a title like Nightrain, that still doesn't mean much. The bottom line is that we gamers want to know if the Sony acquisition, which is almost certain to happen at this point by the way, since Sony has officially announced that they showed intent to buy out Kadokawa, FromSoftware's parent company, means a change in the status quo in FromSoftware. Will we expect more or all their games to be targeted towards a broader audience, or is Nightrain just a fun novelty option while FromSoftware remain true to their core audience? Again, we can't know for sure at this point, but I don't think there's been nearly enough evidence to point out that this is the new way going forward with FromSoftware. For me, Nightrain is just a fun little side project meant to keep the fans busy for a bit while FromSoftware are working on their next big thing. Other companies do this all the time, releasing smaller titles and spin-offs while working on major releases. If Nightrain is an easy way to keep fans busy for a while, as well as earn some extra income while working on the next thing, I don't see why FromSoftware wouldn't take advantage of that opportunity. Whether or not Sony put them up to it is irrelevant. All that matters is that we keep seeing the awesome games that FromSoftware have delivered to us without fail in the past. As far as Nightreign goes, I'm personally all up for it, because again, I highly doubt that this is the way going forward. So I just see it as a cool game to enjoy with some friends. But hell, even if it sucks, I wouldn't really care much, because I don't see it as representative of FromSoftware's future. So these were my 2 cents. Guys, feel free to go nuts in the comments. If you like the video, then please do me a favor and subscribe. It really helps out a lot, and you can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. Thanks for watching this short video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.